This one.
I'm not concerned about the very poor. We have a safety net there. If it needs a repair, I'll fix it. I'm not concerned about the very rich. They're doing just fine. I'm concerned about the very heart of America, the 95% of Americans who right now are struggling.
Well, Romney says he misspoke, but our next guest says the Republican hopeful should listen to the words of the great communicator, Ronald Reagan. Joining us to explain is former speechwriter for President George W. Bush, Mark Thiessen. Hi, Mark.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. So obviously every GOP candidate has been channeling Ronald Reagan throughout this race. But you say that Ronald Reagan would never have said something like, I'm not concerned about the poor.
No, that's exactly right. And look, Romney's defenders are saying that his remarks were taken out of context. Actually, for me, the context is what's most disturbing. What he said was that the poor are fine because we've got a social safety net and let's strengthen the social safety net. Well, that's completely contrary to the vision that Ronald Reagan laid out in his farewell address to the Republican Party at the 1992 Republican National Convention.
Let's take a listen to it.
We are reminded that millions of our citizens have yet to share in the abundance of American prosperity. Let us pledge ourselves to a new beginning for them. Let us apply our ingenuity and remarkable spirit to revolutionize education in America so that everyone among us will have the mental tools to build a better life.
Okay, so Mark, so what is different about those two ideologies, or the one that Mitt Romney mentioned there, and what we heard from the farewell speech from Ronald Reagan?
Sure. Well, what Ronald Reagan was saying, and he went on to say, let's use our harness the competitive enterprise America to rebuild our inner cities so that real jobs can be created out of despair. What Ronald Reagan was saying was that we as conservatives do not accept the permanent welfare state. We don't accept a generation of Americans that are trapped in dependency and poverty. And that's what Mitt Romney was saying. The poor are fine. They have housing vouchers. They have Medicaid. They have food stamps. That is not conservatism. That's liberalism. The liberal project is to strengthen the social safety net and get more people on it. The conservative project, as Ronald Reagan laid out, is to get people off of the social safety net, to create an opportunity society where people can get jobs and get out of being trapped in dependency and join the middle class and even beyond that.
And furthermore, this week, though, Mark, it was interesting because Paul Krugman even basically said that he was wrong on a different level and basically came to the defense of liberals who are saying that actually the social safety net is broken. So when Mitt Romney said, I'm not concerned about the very poor, they're fine, Paul Krugman was saying, well, they're not actually fine, it's not actually working.
Well, you know, since under Barack Obama today, social welfare programs are twice as generous as they were in 2007. So the left doesn't need Mitt Romney's help to strengthen the social safety net. What Mitt Romney should be pointing out is that under Barack Obama, 2.6 million people have slipped out of the middle class and under the poverty line. And that what we need to do is create jobs and opportunity to help lift those people up. And so the Democrats are the party of downward mobility and government dependency. He has to portray the Republican Party as the party of opportunity and upward mobility. That's the Reagan message.
Maybe he's listening this morning. Mark Thiessen, you've given him some free advice. Thanks for joining us.
Interesting stuff, Mark. Thanks so much. Coming up on the show.